So welcome to this video. My name is Alex, and if you are feeling suicidal or depressed or hopeless or full of doom and pessimism, then you must watch this video till the end, because I've got some very important information for you. Now, about 25 years ago, I myself was trying to end my life. I was sitting in my car down a dark country lane with the engine running and a hose pipe connected to the exhaust, and the hose pipe was coming in the front window, so that the car was filling up with fumes. I had taken a handful of sleeping tablets, drunken a bottle of wine, and I was desperately hoping that the pain would end, desperately hoping for some eternal peace to escape the suffering and the pain. Now, thank God, I woke up, obviously, and when I woke up, there was this immense sense of relief and gratitude that I hadn't been successful. And since that time, 25 years ago, and I was depressed for many years before then. You know, I'd actually attempted to end my life on a couple of occasions before then. And since that time, and when I woke up, you know, when I woke up from this suicide attempt, a thought came into my mind, and I don't know where it came from, but it was the thought that if I'm willing to end my life, if life is so painful that I'm willing to end it, then why not do a little experiment with life? Why not use life as an experiment? Why don't I set myself completely free from all the things that I think I should and shouldn't do? Why don't I use life as an experiment to see what happens when I follow my heart, when I do what I really feel, when I do what excites me, what I want to do? And that sounds very selfish, of course. But actually it was the best thing in the world, because what I wanted was to heal. And the healing journey I undertook from that point onwards was a journey of illumination, a journey of understanding my mind, understanding my heart, understanding what was the cause of all my pain, understanding how I didn't need to live in pain, understanding that there was joy and light and beautiful things waiting for me. Now, I'm not going to give any quick fixes or, instant advice for you if you're feeling suicidal or depressed. All I can tell you is I've been there. For many years I've been there, and also I've got to be honest with you and say that just like someone who used to be an alcoholic always considers themselves an alcoholic, they're a recovering alcoholic. So even if they haven't drunk any alcohol for 15 years, they still consider themselves a recovering alcoholic, because all it would take would be one drink and they'd be back on this destructive slippery slope. Now, I feel that the same thing is true with depression. If you're a depressive person, or if you have a tendency towards depression, and by the way, that means you're very sensitive. If you have a tendency towards negativity or depression, it means you're a very, very sensitive human being. And of course, this is actually a good thing. It's good to be very sensitive, because it means your sensitivity means that you can experience the truth of life, the divine beauty of life, much more easily than anybody who's less sensitive. People who don't feel things so much, people who aren't so sensitive to what's going on, or to emotional turbulence, they are less able to experience the exquisite, subtle, divine truth of life. So this is a very good thing. It's good you're sensitive. And as I was saying, once you've been through a depression, like myself, it's never really fully in the past, because those thoughts, all it takes is one of those thoughts, like, what's the point? What's the point in all of this? Because you can look around, you can say, well, what is the point of all of this? Why are we here? What is the point of being here when I can just take my life and disappear? I can take my own life, end it all and disappear. Why would I want to stay here? Why would I want to stay on this planet where there's so much suffering, where there's so much misery, where there's so much pain? And the truth is that you are here to help other people remember what life is about. That's the truth. You are here to remind other people what life is about. Just like myself, 25 years ago, trying to end my life. And God had a plan for me. You might not believe in God, but life had a plan for me. And I had to begin this healing journey. This journey of understanding what I really needed and what would set me free. Because your freedom, once you experience your freedom, you won't be interested in taking your life. You won't be interested in wallowing in negativity and misery. But our freedom, when we're in a state of depression, our freedom seems so far away. Our freedom seems like just a dream, a fantasy. But that is not the case. Your freedom is just a hair's breadth away. But the problem is we're in this psychological bubble created by our negative thoughts, by our defeatist thoughts of, oh, what's the point? Nothing's going to work. We're doomed anyway, or, you know, I'm only going to cause pain for other people, or all these negative thoughts. That's a reality. And when we feed those thoughts, we keep ourselves in that reality. And if you only knew, if you only could get a taste of what life wants to give you, of what God wants to give you, the beauty, the love, the healing, if only you could have a taste of that, then you would turn your back on those thoughts. You'd turn your back on that negative reality in an instant, and you would turn yourself towards the light. You would reorientate yourself towards the light and say, okay, now I know what I want. I don't want that anymore. I don't want the negativity. I don't want the hopelessness. And you don't have to kind of make an effort to be happy. You don't have to say, okay, I'm going to be happy now. You don't have to make any effort. You just need to decide what you really want. Because the path of negativity and pessimism and nihilism and self-defeatism doesn't go anywhere. And you know it doesn't go anywhere. It just deadens you inside. It oppresses your heart and deadens you inside. And you know that you don't want to kill yourself. You know you don't want to end your life. Because there's no joy in that. There's no joy in switching off the lights and ending it all. Because the joy is here, and the potential for joy is here. Now, when you're feeling depressed and miserable, the idea of joy seems like just a whole big effort. It seems so tiring to consider that you could be joyful, you could be free and happy. And as I said, you don't have to make an effort to be joyful. You don't have to make an effort to be happy. If you want to be negative and miserable and self-defeatist, that's okay. It's your choice. It's your life. But I'm here to tell you that there is something just on the other side of the veil, that negative veil, just on the other side, waiting for you. And it's everything you've ever wanted. And I mean everything. It's everything you could possibly want. Your heart's desire is just on the other side of that veil. When you're willing to turn away from that screen of negative thoughts, which just goes round and round and round, it spirals down and down and down. When you're willing to say, okay, I do want something else. I don't want to stay here. I want to see if there's another option. So there's stay in my depression, stay miserable, stay self-defeatist and critical of myself, angry with the world, bitter, resentful. Stay there, that's one option. Number 2, end my life and no longer be here. That's the second option. Or 3, turn in the direction of the light. Look on the other side of this veil of negative thoughts and see what's there. Because there is... words don't do it justice. Something so beautiful, something your heart is longing for, I assure you. Remember, I've been there. I've lived in that pain. I've lived in the darkness. I've lived in this isolation and coldness. And what your heart's longing for is not going to be found by ending your life. It won't be found. Now, I don't know what happens when you end your life. I don't know if you come back with the same karma, or if you, I don't know, I have no idea. I'm not going to speculate on what happens when you end your life. But I do know what happens when you just decide to look away from that realm of self-defeatist negative thinking. Because how you feel is coming from how you think. It's really important to understand that. That it's your thoughts, these recurring thoughts, that keep your heart oppressed, keep your heart heavy and weighed down, keep you feeling hopeless, keep you feeling that life is pointless, it doesn't go anywhere. It's a thought structure, a negative thought structure. And you keep referring to the same thoughts. And because you keep referring back to those thoughts, you keep generating the same emotions. You keep weighing down your heart. So essentially you're just convincing yourself to feel a certain way. And as I said, you don't have to make an effort to be happy, make an effort to suddenly be upbeat, because that's one good thing about depression. One of the good things about depression, it stops you being fake. It stops you trying to generate a positive feeling, because you just want reality. You don't want to make an effort. You just want to be, without any force, without any contrivance, without any effort, without trying to appear a certain way or make things happen a certain way, without trying to control. You just want to be. You just want to be at peace. So this is one good thing about the depressive state. So you need to go from that place of, how can I say, being real. You need to go from that space of being real to wanting to know what else there is. So now you know that you don't want a fake life. You don't want to be fake. You don't want to engineer this personality, this identity where you're smiling and you don't want any of that nonsense. You want to be real. But of course the heaviness isn't satisfactory. So what else is there? Then you look beyond this veil of negative thinking. You actually talk to life or talk to God, and you say, okay, I want my heart to get what it needs. I want my heart to heal, because your heart does need to heal, and the heart of every single human being on this planet needs to heal, I assure you. And the healing journey and the healing process of what is one of increasing light. The light increases and the joy increases, the freedom increases, the happiness increases, and it's not forced, it's not manipulated. It just comes naturally.